Hi, my name is Sarah Marsh. I'm the manager here at Treverbyn Community Hall. Thank you very much for inviting me along to present to you today. I hope that what I have to say is of interest to you. I've been involved in the hall here for the best part of 5 or 6 years. I've been a volunteer and a trustee, and more recently, the manager. Prior to working here, I was doing some work with the local community around green spaces and stuff. So I've been around a while and have seen some quite significant changes going on here. So Treverbyn Community Hall, this is a picture of the front of us. It's in the middle of the China Clay area in Cornwall. The area used to be a thriving mining community. With recent closures, there's been various different levels of deprivation experienced by local people. However, there's still a really strong sense of belonging, and that is in part, I think, the success of the place. So 2 fundamental things we need for a successful community building is a community and a building. Both are needed. Without the community coming together to support a space, it would not continue. And without the community hall or the building, there wouldn't be any space for local community to come together. And as I said, we spent the last 6 years working hard to improve both of these things. Although securing the funding for improving the building was by no means easy, it pales alongside the challenge of bringing the community together. And there are many challenges and barriers that we have overcome, and I'm sure there will be many more to come. There is, however, some commonality across these challenges: people, money and time. So let's start by looking at people. Get the right people on board as trustees or committee members, as staff and volunteers, as partners, referral organisations, as donors and supporters. Identify where your organisation has gaps and actively reach out to people. Rarely do people come and offer their help. We found that a direct approach for a defined task or a defined period of time is really effective. And once people get involved and have a sense of ownership and belonging, they tend to stay. Communicate clearly. Be really clear about how people can help and report back to them on how their contribution has made a difference. We do this with all of our stakeholders, not just our funders. We thank people, our customers and our volunteers, for their help. We do it as they leave the building or as they finish their shifts. Thank you for supporting us today. Thank you for your help. We do it with a follow-up phone call, so when someone has rented the space for an afternoon or an event, we'll phone them a couple of days later to see how it went for them, and also gives us a chance to say thank you for supporting us. We report back to the local community through our newsletter and our flyers and our posters and through the press releases. We use Facebook to reach a wider network and report to our funders and donors too. But communication is a 2/3 listening and 1/3 talking tool. We ask our customers, staff and volunteers for feedback. And we get that verbally, or we have that through focus groups and from the follow-up phone calls that we do. We do surveys, and we have an external evaluator come in once a year and do some work with our users. And this helps us really understand what is working, how needs might be changing, and what we can continue to improve what we offer. Build strong relationships. We have over 50 regular volunteers that pretty much run the place. They do 90% of what goes on in this building, from the maintenance to the finance, to the cleaning, to the organising, to the baking. There's lots of baking. Yeah, pretty much everything. We invest quite a lot of time in supporting and coordinating them. In fact, pretty much a full-time role in itself. We do take the time to get to know our volunteers when they first join us, especially. So we have quite a robust induction program, And we buddy people up, so when they first start, they instantly feel that they're working alongside someone who is their buddy, friend. And that really helps people very quickly become part of the team. We regularly ask and act on suggestions from the team and have very clear levels of responsibility that enable everyone, all of our volunteers, to act in the best interest of the hall. So it's about empowering people also. We try to avoid bureaucracy and enable individuals to take responsibility and action. So if something is out of date and needs taking down, a poster for example, or if something is broken and they can fix it, or if we need to get something, and we'll sort out and we reimburse them. But it's about empowering individuals so that they feel they've got a real sense of ownership too. Exceed expectations. In our community, our volunteers are also our customers, and our customers are likely to be our future volunteers, staff, ambassadors, donors, or even grant funders. So we really aim to change people's expectations of a community hall. Yes, we are a charity. Yes, we are mainly run by volunteers, but we are professional about what we do, and people should expect a top quality experience when they come here. We need repeat business and personal referrals. We need our customers to tell their friends and their families and their colleagues about this place and about what goes on. It will enable us, if we get more people through the door, more bookings, more users, to become sustainable and less reliant on grant funding. And we will only get this by being good at what we do. Planned obsolescence. 18 months ago, we would have been in serious trouble if 2 or 3 key people had left. We recognise that as a weakness, and over the past 12 months especially, we've worked really hard to change this reliance. We've trained others, we've shared knowledge, we've put systems in place so that information is not held by 1 or 2 people, but it's accessible by others. And we've built confidence in individuals and people. That now means that we're no longer reliant on key individuals. We're also working hard to ensure the future of our hall. Our volunteers start from as young as 11, and these are the people who will be running our community facilities in 15 years' time. I want them to have the skills, the knowledge and the passion to do it well. So that's a short bit on people. What about money? 4 years ago, our annual income was £6,000. Last year, it was £126,000. £80,000 of that was grant funding. Having a finance team and a treasurer who knows what is absolutely key to managing this rapid rate of growth. Working towards a grant-free future requires a focus and a business head. Doing this in the voluntary sector, where social benefit also needs to be balanced, has its challenges too. We have a diverse board of trustees who are dynamic, flexible and proactive, and this really, really helps. Evolving and developing a business plan is a vital skill. If you don't have these skills, find someone or some people who do. It's really, really important for our future and I suspect yours. Key to securing income is getting people in, and how you get people in is very much around how you market yourself. Brand is not just the big boys. In fact, I believe it's more important for small organisations working in a local market to have a really strong brand that local people can quickly identify as something that belongs to their community. We worked with a local design company and our customers to develop a logo, colours and templates that we now use for all of our posters, our newsletter, our signage, even the team uniform. It may seem a little corporate, but it works. People tell us that they like our branding, that they recognise our posters and our events readily, that they stand out from the other stuff that's pinned up on the notice boards, and that they associate the words friendly, inclusive and helpful with our brand. So we also know that what we're trying to market is also, that message is getting across. Be known. Get out there and get known. We regularly, not every week, but most weeks, we'll send out a press release, make sure our events and activities are in the local papers, have slots on the radio, we daily post on our Facebook page, but also other people's Facebook pages. We put up posters. We attend other events and raise our profile locally. We also trying to raise our profile across the county and further afield. Last year we were nominated for the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service. Amazingly, we got it. Attending activities, training events and networking events is a really good way of raising your profile. And we're working really hard to attract more new organisations to use our venue. That is about our long-term funding, if you like. The more organisations that use us, the less reliance we'll have on grant funding and the more sustainable we'll be in the future. But it also brings other benefits in that there's other organisations come here. It brings services and opportunities to the community that might otherwise not be here. So never give up. Don't listen to the naysayers. I believe that much of what we have achieved is down to sheer tenacity. When something is needed and people get behind a solution, it will be achieved. We've had to be very resourceful, creative and ultimately optimistic. Whatever the problem or issue, there will be a solution. Sometimes it just takes some finding. I've written on the wall, to achieve the impossible, you must attempt the absurd. If someone had said 5 years ago to the residents of Treverbyn that there would be a £2 million investment in their community hall in the next 10 years, they would have laughed at you. Well, 5 years on, we're over halfway there. Plan ahead. We have Reaching Communities funding until 2020. We are now 3 years off planning how we are going to be running in 3 years' time. It can easily take 3 years for a project, an idea or an aspiration to come to fruition. So really try and plan ahead as much as you can. So that's it on money. What about time? Well, time is impossible to create. It exists. But what we can do is use it as productively as possible. Focus on the important and the urgent. The rest will either resolve itself or become important or urgent. Delegate. Ask someone else to help or take on a task. This shares responsibility, enables others to be involved, builds capacity within your team, but it also gets more done in the time available. Spare the time. Keep meetings short. Use 5 words, not 50. I find that really hard. And yeah, spare the time. Use your time wisely. Use it effectively. Share your knowledge. Get other people involved. Many hands make light work and all that. So get stuck in. Do something. Don't procrastinate too much. I've been at too many meetings, not necessarily here, where there's been an awful lot of talk and very little resulting action. So that comes back to focus. Focus on the things that really need to happen and now, and then make them happen. Break it down into steps. How do we do this? We need to do this, this, and this to get there. People will come out and help when they think they can actually do something. There are a few people in this world that like to sit down and talk and plan, but there are a lot of people that like to turn plans into action. And once you start doing that, then more people will come along and get involved, and then you can achieve more in the time that you've got. And then finally, don't forget to eat cake. Our place runs on cake. It's used as a thank you, as a bribe, it's used to celebrate, and it's used to bring people together. So that was a whistle-stop tour of our people, money and time. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, I'm sure Jenny will be able to help, or if you can contact me at the hall. If you're ever passing our door, please stop by to say hello and see us for yourself. Thank you.